Okay, yesterday you should have created your beginning and your problem of your fairy tale on Pixton. Go ahead and take a minute and get your Pixton cartoon pulled up, please, or comic, I apologize. Get your Pixton comic pulled up, log yourself in. Getting myself logged in. We're going to let Levin back in because we like him.
It says it's blocked.
Oh, it does say it's blocked. Allow me to remove. And make sure it's removed. There you go. Now you're good. All right. So pull up your comic from yesterday, your beginning and your problem. Also, friends, I want to make sure we are aware this should all be inside of one comic strip. Okay, you are not creating 3 different comics, one for the beginning, one for the middle, one for the end. It's all in the same one, just like when I go pick up a book, the beginning, middle, and end is in the same place. Okay, that's a fun book I get to read for college. Woohoo. Make sure your beginning, middle, and the end is in the same place. Okay, so same comic. Go ahead and click on that edit. Pull up the comic that you have created. And then I want you to get ready to share your comic so far with the partner you're going to have in your breakout room. Okay. Partners, as your friends are sharing their screens, you are going to check if they have captions, speech bubbles, and if their comic makes sense. Okay. So again, you're checking for captions, speech bubbles, and does it make sense? Okay. All right. Let me send you in your breakout rooms here. You're going to share your screens and get some feedback on your comics. Okay. You have now reviewed your comics with your partners. I hope that while you were checking your partner's comics, you were also getting ideas for what you could try with your own comic. Okay. It's always a good idea to talk with those around us who are working on similar projects to share ideas. Okay, you have an activity on Seesaw called Fractured Fairy Tales, The Problem. Okay, go ahead and hop to your activities. I apologize, the solution is what I meant. Fractured Fairy Tales, The Solution. Okay, I'd like for you to click on Add Response. You're going to see that this looks very, very, very familiar. It's just about the end of your comic now instead of the beginning and the middle. Okay. So the solution is where your comic ends. It's where the happily ever after of your fairy tale happens. Okay. You will notice there are 2 questions. What happened at the end? And how did this happen? Okay. What happened at the end and how did this happen? Remember, you have to have at least 3 panels just for the ending. Okay. So you can't say, they're done and be over. You've got to say how, okay? Or the pigs let the wolf live there. We're done. How did they get a house for the wolf? How did they decide if he could stay? How did they figure out where he would stay? Okay, so you're adding in detail to your solution. This should make sense and be connected to what you did on your Pixton comic yesterday. Okay, so we're going to finish our solution today. First, I'd like for you guys to track what is going to happen at the end and how it happened. Okay, so let's check this out. Solution. What happened at the end? In my comic so far, Jack and his mom had to sell their family cow. Jack traded it for beans instead. Mom got super mad and Molecular has started to notice the problem. I haven't finished my comic yet of him going up the beanstalk. So he's up in the beanstalk in the sky. Okay, so what's going to happen at the end of my comic, and you're not writing this because this isn't your comic, it's mine. At the end, Molecular helps the giant and Jack understand each other. Oops, goodness. Okay, that's what the solution is going to be. It's very simple. It's very basic. Now I have to add how that's going to happen. Okay, so here's how that's going to happen. First, they all agree to have a conversation. That's the first thing that they've got to do. They all agree to have a conversation. Okay, second, they agree to share Jack's father's items weekly. Okay, so in my comic, the giant, when he came down to Earth, didn't see anybody home, so he thought that house was empty, and that's why he took the stuff. He thought it was abandoned, but it wasn't abandoned. It's just they weren't home at that time. So Jack's like, I see how you made a mistake, and I'll share my stuff with you so that you don't have nothing to do up here in the clouds. All right. So the main character, Jack, feels very happy about this. Okay. He feels happy because he gets his dad's things back and he isn't eaten by the giant. Okay. Very important there to not be eaten by a giant if you want to stay happy. Just saying. Okay. The evil character, my giant, feels surprised because he didn't expect Jack to be nice. All right. All his life, people have been really evil to giants. So he's shocked, surprised that Jack was nice. Okay. So I'm going to create my Pixton with that information now. I'm going to show Jack's face happy. I'm going to show the giant's face surprised. I'm going to put speech bubbles of their conversation so that it makes sense. Okay. I'd like for you right now, you're going to go in a breakout room by yourself, all alone, nobody with you, and you're going to complete slide 1. Okay. I want you to hop into a breakout room by yourself. Take 5 minutes to complete slide 1. How is your fairy tale going to end? Okay. When you come back, you'll share your ideas with a partner and then you'll have some Pixton work time. But right now, you're completing slide 1. All right. Okay, here you go. Okay. Now, I want you to go ahead and get ready to share what your solution is going to be with a partner. This is going to be a very quick share, okay? You're going to share 2 things. The 2 things that you are going to share is what one of your captions is going to say and what one of your pictures in your panels is going to be. So 2 things. What's your caption going to say? What is your picture that you're going to create in one of your panels? Any questions about that? Yes, Aiden G.
I don't know what we did, like first did in our breakout groups because it kicked me out and I tried to join 2 more times, then it logged me in for the 3rd time.
Wow, that's a lot. I'm sorry you experienced that. You can share your ideas. I know you've got them in that brain, okay?
Okay.
All righty, awesome. Okay, let me finish setting this up. Lovely. Okay, so again, you are going to share what your caption is going to say, and you are going to share what one of your pictures is going to be. Okay, here you go. All right, you friends today are getting ready to create the last part of your Pixton comic. Remember, your comic should be all in one document. You're not starting a different comic for your beginning and then another one for your middle and then another one for your ending. They're all the same. Okay, so remember that. Second thing to remember is that you have a checklist of requirements. Okay. Camille, sister, leave that alone, please. You need to have 1 caption. You need to have 4 speech bubbles. You need to have at least 3 panels. You need to have a happily ever after, and it needs to make sense. Okay. Your full comic should be at least 10 panels. 1 of your characters, 3 of your beginning, 3 of your middle, and 3 of your end. If it's more, awesome, but it has to be at least 10. Okay? All right, friends, the remainder of your work time is for your Pixton creation. Happy working.